Hello, and thank you for listening to this. This is part two of a talk called How I Lost 20 Pounds. I have the alarm clock set to go off in about 8 or 9 minutes because I tend to ramble and I want to have each part of this talk just for 10 minutes. Well, the key points that I'm making in this video here are that some of the things that most helped me to lose the weight was I got a bunch of food lists. I just did a Google search for certain lists of foods that I felt would be helpful to me. One of them was a list called the world's healthiest foods. So that was one list of foods. The other one was nutrient, I don't know if you can see this here, nutrient dense foods. Then another list I had here was low calorie foods. I have a list of low sodium foods. I have a list of high protein vegetables, a list of superfoods, a list of high enzyme foods, and a list of alkaline producing foods. I read that if the body, it tends to be more alkaline than acidic, it tends to be healthier, so I made a list of high alkaline or alkaline producing foods. And then a list of high fiber foods. Then I have a list of heart healthy foods. And then I made a list of 5 nutrition steps for a longer life, and then healthy habits for longevity. Because you see, although yes, I had a goal to lose 20 pounds, and I lost the 20 pounds. I weigh actually 153 is what I weigh. I lost 22 pounds. I started out at 175. And also, although I lost the weight, my more broad scoped goal was not just to lose weight. My more broad goal was longevity, to live long and to live well, and to live happily, and to have a life where I have plenty of energy. So the idea of losing weight, well, that was you might say, a small part of the puzzle of longevity and of health. So my real goal was to live longer and also to live better, and to live healthier, and to be more fit. So the weight loss was a part of that. Now, so I constructed food lists that would help me to have very, very excellent health. That is high nutrition, superfoods, high energy foods, nutrient dense foods, but yet low in calories. And one of the benefits of these lists are whenever I would go to a grocery store and they were doing a food demonstration, very typically they give out kind of high calorie foods in these food demos. I didn't have the slightest inclination to want to have one of these pieces of food. Also, when I went to the store, I went to the produce section and picked out all the different types of foods, the vegetables, etc., that were very high energy. So it helped me learn and helped me to keep my attention on the kinds of foods that I should have. The other thing that helped me lose weight was a daily checklist. Here is you can't see much of it on the video, but I have here a daily checklist, and it's the fundamental successful actions that make my day go pretty well. Getting enough rest, taking a shower, exercise. Well, I have some specific things here that I put on this checklist as I started my weight loss program. One of them was to start the day, well, for me it was with leafy green vegetables. So I have spinach, fresh spinach for breakfast every day. That's my breakfast, fresh spinach. The other thing I read on these lists of longevity, they say drink 8 glasses of water a day. Well, so I had not been doing that, but I am doing it now. So on my daily checklist, I have 8 glasses of water, and I mark it off at the end of each day. So if I did not do that day, I only have one day that I'm not going to do it, because I'm going to remember, I'm going to see that I missed it, and then the very next day on my to-do list, I'm going to put a special little star around that one to make sure I do it. Then the other thing, I read that if you walk 30 minutes a day, it's good for you. So I have this on my daily checklist, walk 30 minutes a day. Also, one of my goals was to build up my fitness and my muscle tone of the upper body. So I have devised exercises for that, and to trim down my midsection, my abdomen, so I have exercises for that too, which I have on my checklist. Another thing on my checklist is to prepare all of my water for the next day. I have all of my 8 bottles of water lined up for the very next day, so that there's not going to be any doubt that I'm going to miss out on that. Another thing, don't eat after 7 p.m. So all of these things, little things, are things I learned when I got these lists of, what does it take to lose weight? What does it take to be healthy, to maintain your weight? So I use food lists, and I read over them 100 times a day. I used a daily checklist, something that I would use in my life anyway, but since this was a specific goal that I'm working on, I specifically added these items to the checklist. The other thing I do is I read this checklist every day. So I'm reminding myself to do the kinds of things that are going to help me to achieve this goal of losing weight. In another talk that's called the 4 Pillars of Success, I talked about having a mentor. And when you have a mentor, it can help you on any goal. These are fundamental things that can help you on any goal. Having a mentor, maybe having a life coach, and having what I call a buddy coach, which is a friend that helps you that you meet with maybe once a day, once or twice a week. And then the Success Library, the books. Now, my Success Library on the weight loss was these lists of foods, and it was also the Stephen Covey's book on the 7 Habits of Highly Successful People, the First Things First. I drink water first thing in the day before I'll have anything, to make sure that, because it's such an important thing, apparently, for maintaining health, having enough water in your system, so I do that first. Then the Jack Canfield, the idea about asking yourself what you really, really want, that was a part of my Success Library. So these things have helped me on the weight loss goal. Also, I do have a life coach, and I went over with my life coach these specific things I was doing. Then my coach even asked me other things I could do that would reinforce the whole thing. So having a life coach has been very helpful. My mentor is my neighbor named Steve. He weighs 128 pounds and as strong as can be. He's taller than I am, and he's amazing. He's 58 or 59. He works every day, and he's very healthy, very happy. So he was my mentor, because when I started out at 175, he's 128. He looks great, and he was my mentor. So having a mentor, a coach, and a buddy coach, a friend that can, take your walk with you every night, somebody to give you moral support, email them once a day, hey, did you weigh yourself today? Things like this. I also encourage working as a team on any goal. And on the weight loss goal, join Weight Watchers, join any kind of a support group that helps you to keep in the habits, the successful habits in losing weight. Well, it's almost time for the end of my talk. So, yes, it's just about time. So I do want to say thank you very, very much for listening to me. And again, I hope that you've listened with the idea of service in mind, service to other people, because when you are making notes of things you can do to be a benefit to other people, you're going to learn them a lot more yourself. And as you participate in the success of others, they're going to participate, or other people also will participate in your success. So I wish you well, whatever your goal might be, and I want to thank you very much for taking the time to listen to this talk that was called How I Lost 20 Pounds. Thank you very much.